Good morning, happy Monday, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Coffee with Paula and
Jay. Good morning, and guys, oh, look at that. Oh, hair. I got a haircut too. I got a haircut. I'm working on it. I'm trying to add some more heat up there.
wear a hat.
Wear a hat.
Wear a hat. Ooh, I'm a bit dark this morning.
Oh, all right. Let me just add some more light. And Jay said, I'm adding some more light.
Yes. Blinded by
Listen,
the light.
this is Life of Paula. Too dark, too bright. Goldilocks. We got to find a happy medium for you. But how are you? It's a sweater day.
It is a sweater day. It's woke up to -20, and yesterday was like -6. We had nice sunshine, nice temperatures, but it's only going to get warmer from here.
Yeah, another mild break here in
Yeah.
January. I'm kind of liking this. I'm glad I did all that CFC spraying in the 80s and 90s. You know,
we did our
change the ozone and make global warming. Maybe it's all catching up.
Yes, us Gen Xers, we did what we could back in the day. You're welcome, Alphas and Gen Zs and whatnot.
It wasn't for hairspray on my part, I could tell you that. It wasn't
mine. I was more of a moose gal, not a hairspray. My sister.
Is that why you came to Canada? You like moose?
My sister in the 80s, she would have been hairspray. I was more moose.
All right, what's in the Witch's Brew today?
In the Witch's Brew today, the usual.
Because frankly, folks, you should see this cup. Like this thing's trying to leave.
Well, because turmeric is such an ugly shade of orange. But yeah, turmeric's now in there. With the black pepper, I remember the ginger today, and not the ginger, the garlic. Ginger is in there.
There's not one it's turmeric.
Turmeric. Apple cider vinegar and lemon juice. And a touch
it looks like diesel
pepper.
Fuel with pepper in it. To tell you the truth, from my side, pretty sure that could heat the diesel heaters.
It probably could. But it's good for me, so I can live long time.
Well, I definitely want you to outlive me. I could not imagine life without you. That would suck.
Oh,
big time. But folks, I feel much better. Friday, I was exhausted. All right, out late Thursday, had to drive home, and whenever I do a speech or a large crowd, I'm rethinking everything. I go through it as well, and I wasn't sleeping well, and I was exhausted more.
Yeah, you were. And I got up. I'm in the studio, and then I get the call. There's no show today. I'm like, okay, yes.
Well, you could have ran the show. No. We had our guests ready, but I was exhausted. I needed some more rest.
Yeah.
And getting a little bit more rest really helped a lot.
Yeah, it did, because you crashed. Afterwards, you crashed for a bit and then got up, got on with the day. Good man.
Yeah, you know me well. Like, if I need to sleep, I sleep. But otherwise, I'm up nice and early, ready to go, but not Friday. So thanks, everybody, for your well wishes. A lot of people said, get rest. We need you. And I did need it. I was just out.
Yeah, he was, bless him, because you're not the best sleeper when you need rest. Oh, poopy lip. Oh no, what are you gonna do? Yeah, I do not have that problem.
Nope.
I know. It's time to sleep. Okay, done.
It'd be the swamp water you drink.
The swamp water.
And you rattle as well.
Oh, dude,
they're all supplements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're not like on any crazy pills or anything.
No.
No big pharma in our home.
No, it's typical stuff. Magnesium, a woman of a certain age, so magnesium is good for the old brain fog that's going on, and then K to support the vitamin D, and then zinc and
magnesium,
C.
zinc. You sound like a battery.
But no lithium. No lithium.
Not yet. Maybe you'll at some point. Some people have to take that.
You end up like Britney Spears today. A bit. She had the touch of the lithium a few years ago, and does damage apparently.
Get some iron and phosphate in you, and then you'll be a battery bank.
Yeah, there you go.
Iron and phosphate.
Good morning, everyone, and morning, Berta Proud Dad. Great to see you in the chat.
Oh, hey, great to see Lawrence. I think he's going to be there tonight too. Like, everybody's going to be there.
Well, good. Why don't you talk about what's happening today?
Well, because that's the whole show. That's what our guest is about. So we'll save that for when Mitch gets on.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be great to kind of catch up with a lot of these people, see them in person. I think everybody's going to be there. And it might be one of the largest political gatherings in Canadian history, because the Daniel Smith one of 6,000 was labeled that. And this should be 7,500. So we may break a record today.
Excellent.
But you won't be there.
No, I won't be there because, life on the camp. We got to take care of home.
Yep. Well,
is
we
fine.
being you in this one. Yeah, you're going to have to do that and get used to it because there's a couple tours coming up.
Yeah.
And a couple more after that. Going to be busy all the way till, I think, May.
Yep. What are you gonna do? C'est la vie.
Oh, she talking en français this morning, everybody. It's one of the reasons why I married her, that accent. And she can speak ou petit French
Yes. Une petite.
far more than I can. And I got the last name for it.
Yes, you do.
Well, you
La
do too
vie.
now.
I do.
Yep.
Yes, I do. I do. But yes, good morning, everyone. Hope you had a fantastic weekend.
What's your Martin update?
Oh, smart update. Oh, Buck Creek Winterfest was yesterday. The winter gods came out and gave them good weather, so the kids had all the sleigh rides, and it was a nice event for the community. So well done to Buck Creek Hall for putting that community event on yesterday. It was good.
Anything on the homestead?
No, quite honestly, I don't think so. Diesel heater's working fine. The kids are alive and well, and we're just getting on with stuff. Quite frankly, it's winter.
Where's your pig? You coming back?
No, he's not going to come back for the next couple of weeks because I have to farm sit, and so he might as well stay with the other piggies. So I'm dealing with them all at the same time. So no, Wilbur will be back mid-February. He'll be back home.
Excellent. So there you go, Martin. Everything's great.
Yeah.
Donkey and or Dory on the Levine homestead here.
Yes, dogs are alive, cats are alive. Cat was, I know which one it was this morning. Like, lucky you.
And JJ scolded an entire table of RCMP officers at Salt Pepper the other day.
Oh, so what happened?
Because they left their vehicles running. There's 3 of them in the parking lot. As we pulled in, we're like, I wonder what's going on here. Maybe there's some action inside of here because there's 3 vehicles outside running.
Mm-hmm.
So thought maybe they were dealing with something. Nope, they're having their breakfast.
But they left their vehicles running.
You sound just like JJ.
But yeah, no, that's interesting. I didn't know. I remember I dropped you guys off.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the vehicles, but I didn't know they were on. And what was their answer?
You keep the computer warm. Mm-hmm.
How long are you having breakfast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, all right, sure. You just want a warm seat when you get in there, and it's not your gas. But yeah, so we got there, the 3 vehicles, and there's a whole table of officers. They're very nice. They gave the boys some stickers, and how come you're not in school? Well, I'm homeschooled. And then he scolded them.
And then there you go. That's my boy. I'm homeschooled, and here's the thing: you're polluting our environment. Yeah.
And church was great yesterday. Our pastor's on vacation, but we had a nice sermon yesterday, so great to see everybody there. That place is full, especially with the children. Oh my gosh,
the children
great
are
job
outnumbering
to everybody
people
out there.
Yeah, there's a ton of kids when they normally have a little children's lesson before they go off to children's church, so they invite them up to the front, have the lesson, and it's just like one after the other, after the other, after the other. So it's great to see all of the little people there.
Yeah, it's excellent. Got to a point where they had to cut it off at one point. So even JJ, he's hanging
an
out
age
with
limit.
now.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's an age limit.
Yeah,
now.
but Jacob's in there. He's like, Jay, come. I'm like, no, JJ can't go.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He gets his snack at the end, and then he goes to the other room, and yeah, they go learn. It's great.
It's great to see everybody in there having a good time, sharing some good stories, and I really like that church. I'm glad we found it.
Yes, so am I. They're good people.
All right, well, let's get into the news because a lot happens. First news is Jason's hair is still crazy. It either looks like Homer or Trump. It depends what angle you look at.
You need to start using product in your hair.
No,
ain't you fancy?
No, not a chance. Au natural.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and grab into the news. There's a lot going on over this weekend. The first things we did, tell the story about this Facebook post that they were going after our bakery.
Yeah, so Drayton Valley Bakery in Drayton Valley has...
What a name.
I know. Has had a number of events at its location, from book signings to fundraisers and such. And I noticed a couple of days ago that they had to do they had to do a post saying, look, we are holding a Stay Free Alberta signing event. Don't harass us. We do many things within the community, and we're being unbiased.
Stop harassing us.
Yeah, we do many things in the community. We're unbiased, and we're holding this event. And then I'd seen earlier that they had posted, hey, there's going to be a signing event. And the comment section was full of nothing but support for them. And it was like, I've never been there before, but I'm going to be going there. And we've been there a couple of times. We've purchased some very tasty honey glazed donuts from their location. Anyway, so I shared it with Jason. He says, okay, well, we'll be heading into Drayton Valley, and we're going to make sure that we show our support. And so that's us there, buying some donuts and some bread.
It was yum. I got to tell you, I understand that their cinnamon buns are world class. So we'll back to get some of those. I had the apple fritter. but support any business. It doesn't even matter who's doing a petition and signing, as long as they're supporting the community, staying unbiased, and allowing anybody to go ahead and get things done. Support them. And when they get under even just an online attack, because nobody's going to show up to Drayton Valley to protest. Anybody, good luck with that. Drayton Valley is not the place for that.
No.
Very, very conservative. But nice people there. Walked in and said, hey, I heard you got some online attention. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, well, we're here to support. Yes. So, and all the comments that we've received as well, same thing. But we have to go try the cinnamon buns.
You have to. I don't care for cinnamon buns. It's you and JJ that enjoys them.
Show your support.
I'll eat something else.
You probably put it in your teeth, Bruce.
Oh my God, be quiet.
Like it'll be a half a cinnamon bun in there. Right. So thank you very much to Drayton Valley Bakery and Cafe. And grab sandwiches too. I hear they're great. So we're working very hard to get the word out about the Sean Hartman story, the movie that Dean Rainey, his partner, and myself been working on for several months. We filmed and recorded, started in the summer, got a lot of excellent interviews, put it together into a documentary. It's 1 hour long. We're starting the screenings in Ontario, right where Dan lives, right about where Dan lives. We'll be in the Barrie area. We'll go to Ottawa. So Barrie on the 8th, Ottawa on the 9th, Peterborough on the 10th, Toronto East on the 11th. Now, the 12th and 13th may swap around depending on venue information today, but we'll be doing Hamilton and Toronto West as well. So like the Mississauga, west side of Toronto. So stay tuned for all of those. And yes, there's a whole bunch more showings coming all over Ontario and Alberta. We have a thing on the website that says request a screening, and people have been requesting screenings from Palo Alto, California, Vegas, Chicago, all over Canada. But yes, when I get back to second half of February, I'll be doing screenings all over Alberta. I'm planning 2 weeks of those from Lethbridge all the way up to Grand Prairie and all the stops in between. So we'll be bringing the screening to you in Alberta as well. But do go to the website, put in request a screening, let me know where you're at, and we'll make sure you get notified when we're coming to your area.
And buy a ticket.
Yes, and buy a ticket, because this is a fundraiser for Dan's legal. He's got quite the fight ahead of him against the government of Canada. There's an appeal today. Is getting started. So if you can watch that, it's today that the appeal will start. No, there's no decisions today. This is just the beginning of the arguments for the appeal for the government of Canada's lawsuit that was dismissed because the judge found they had no duty of care. And then, of course, the Pfizer lawsuit, the defense was just filed in December. So that's moving forward as well. So there's some people out there saying like everything can come to an end today. And that's not even close to true. Today is the opening arguments on the appeal, and the Pfizer lawsuit is the second one altogether. To 2026, Dan's going to be very busy with legal. We're trying to support that as well. So go ahead and grab yourself a ticket. We'll see you there. Dan will be there in person for sure for Barrie, the Toronto ones, Peterborough, Hamilton. May not make it all the way to Ottawa, but we do have Detective Helen Gruce in Ottawa that will be there in person, plus myself, and Chris Shoemaker will be there as well.
Yep, great.
Dr. Shoemaker. So go ahead and grab those tickets. You can go to supportsean.ca to get yourself started on that, see the trailer, and share it out. I'm really excited about finally getting that out there. You've seen it a couple times now.
Yeah.
Dan's a huge fan of it. Just needs a lot of tissues to get through it.
Yeah.
We're doing the final touches on it now, and we'll be ready to go for February 8th.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you. Lots of work went in there. Rise of Alberta. If you're not following them, where have you been? Go follow them. Highlighting here how Alberta exports to the U.S. 88.5%. All other nations combined, other than China, Japan, South Korea, Mexico, is 5.3%. China is third with 3.7%, and it goes down from there. U.S. is our largest trade partner in Alberta. And we would like to maintain that. When Ottawa is attacking the U.S., threats of tariffs, trying to open up markets into China, this is just going to cause problems to the good people in Alberta. And what Rise of Alberta is highlighting here is we have a great relationship, and we want to continue that, regardless of what Arnie is doing.
And he's trying.
Well, he's trying.
He's trying.
Although he took a knee again. Just, I think it was yesterday, the news came out. He's like, okay, I won't do a free trade with China because Trump said I'll put 100% tariffs on you. So this guy doesn't stand for anything. Like
No.
when he said he was the only one that can negotiate and stand up to Trump, that was just rhetoric. We all knew that.
Yes.
Elbows up meant nothing. All of you that voted for Carney because you thought he was going to stand up to Trump.
Nope.
Well, thank you to Chris Dacey for posting about the documentary. And of course, you can see on Sean Answers for Sean. It's pinned there as well. You can watch the trailer, see the poster, and go ahead and click the link of support Sean to get yourself some tickets. The Globe and Mail put out this headline. Experts worry Elections Alberta lacks resources to deal with foreign interference. There's absolutely no foreign interference.
No.
So my post here is liars be lying again. With the new ID requirements of Bill 54, the independence petition signing is the most secure in Alberta's history. Elections Alberta had to request millions to address the 22 recalls that received funding from BC teachers and had Ontario unions involved. Globe and Mail said nothing.
Yeah.
The true foreign interference is from Ottawa state-funded media interfering in Alberta's grassroots movement. This is what they did during the election. This is what they've done like several times. Just call foreign interference. But what about the House of Commons foreign interference from China and India?
Still waiting for those
the RCMP
names.
even said, yeah, no, there is some, and then that went away. Yet the Globe and Mail wants to drag in people they call experts to say that they're worried. Elections Alberta themselves aren't worried. The Bill 54 really locked things down pretty good.
Yep.
And as somebody who's witnessed the signature petition signing stuff, no, it's very, very strict. You have to be Albertan. There's no foreign money that would have to be reported. There's no reports coming out of Alberta or Elections Alberta saying that any of this is a problem.
Yeah.
It's only Lusakic's camp who's claiming there is, and the media who is working for the state.
Yeah.
So no, there is none of this. So shame on you, Globe and Mail. Once again, you've exposed yourself. They didn't even provide any proof. They said, "Oh, these experts think it." None of the experts provided any proof. They're just saying the words that scare some people.
Yep.
Not working.
Hogwash.
Keith Wilson reposted here. Premier Smith came out and she was very clear. Alberta separatists aren't looking to be part of the U.S. That's correct.
Yep.
All the conversations we've seen happen with the U.S. State Department has been an independent Alberta, not joining the U.S. And Dr. Modry gave a great breakdown on Thursday show on how even on the U.S. side of things, that would be impossible. The Democrats wouldn't support it. It requires 2/3 of Congress and the Senate. They wouldn't get the votes. They would want 3 additional Democrat states to be joining, like Washington, D.C., Guam, and Puerto Rico. There's no desire for it on their side. So even on the U.S. side of things, there's no path forward for that. And then on our side of things, there's no desire here either. It's the media once again that keeps saying this. So the premier herself came out and said, no, the separatists aren't looking to be part of the U.S. And that's true. So thanks to Danielle Smith for laying that out and Keith Wilson for sharing that. Here's where we're going today.
Yep.
So shortly after this episode, I'll be jumping into my little car and head down to the Big Four. They moved it from the BMO Center, which can hold up to 6,000, to the Big Four, which can hold up to 7,500. And it's
pretty cool.
Just across like the parking lot of the BMO Center, so same area. But come and check this out. This could end up being one of the largest political gatherings in the history, at least Alberta, potentially all of Canada. This is a signing event too. So starting at 11 a.m., you can go there to sign, and 7 p.m. and on, the speakers will be taking the stage. I should be arriving there probably somewhere between 5 and 6. I'll be in the media section. Come say hi. I'm pretty sure it'll be easy to find because I believe there's a table of the media. But yeah, come check it out. Be there. And if you signed already, still come for the speeches at 7 p.m. Be part of history and see why, even in the heart of Calgary, thousands of people are showing up to show their support for a referendum, to give them the vote. And you don't have to be a yes. You could be a no and come and check this out.
Yeah, get some information. Go have conversation and discussion.
Yeah, and especially if you're undecided, come check it out. You'll see what is really going on here. I'm sure the media will cover this a little bit. They'll probably say 75 people showed up instead of 7,500. But we'll see how it goes. But I'll be there today. but many people will be there today. I think Lawrence in our chat will be there today as well. I'm pretty sure everybody is going to be there. I've seen a lot of people say they'll be there as well.
Yeah, even in our chat, people are saying they'll be there.
Oh,
so.
great. Make sure you come say hi. I'll be in the media section and I'll be walking around. All right, another one from Rise of Alberta. Across Canada, people are lining up. In Alberta, they're lining up for something else. So here in Vancouver, the safe injection site. In Toronto, it's a food bank. Oh, boy, some of the pictures coming to Toronto for the food bank is sad to see because there's a long line for those.
Yeah.
And then Alberta, it's to sign the petition. And yes, the lines have been long.
Happy.
I'm just going to go there. I've seen nobody upset about that. Signing a line there. Some people, like I said previously, like I've been waiting 40 years for this, so they're very pleased to wait a little bit longer to get their signature on that petition.
Yeah, and then the other day when we had cold temperatures, where was it?
Edmonton. Oh no, even I think Grand Prairie.
Yeah,
pictures out Grand Prairie.
They were like, nope. They still stood out there.
Yep.
They went. They wanted to sign. That's fantastic.
It's history. And the man who's helped create the history just popped into our green room. We'll see you in a couple minutes here, my friend. But great to see you. All right. So Mark says Carney. So I'm registering as a third-party advertiser because I just want to be careful. I don't want to cause any trouble. I don't want to receive any trouble. The lines are blurry around what is third-party advertising with Elections Alberta. So an abundance of caution. I've registered last week. We should get it all done for this week. But what I'm highlighting here is I wonder if Marx's Carney has registered as a third-party advertiser for the Alberta Independence petition. He's hands down the best spokesperson for the movement.
You being cheeky?
A little bit, but not, because he absolutely, every time he does something, he's like, oh, well, there's one more reason to go. So here he is in Davos just the other week. Here he is with his China comment about the New World Order. Scott Moe wasn't pleased with that one at all. Here he is about the who cares when asked about if he spoke to Trump, which is really hurting the economy of Canada and Alberta. And then here he is saying pipelines are boring. But he's been a fantastic, that was November 2025. The last few months, he's been a fantastic spokesperson for reasons why Alberta should really consider leaving. And he's got another 3 years, possibly 4 in his term. I don't know if the East will reelect him, but this guy is no good for Alberta. No good for Canada either, but they picked him. Alberta certainly didn't.
Yeah, no, my little side bet was that if Poilievre retains his leadership, which quite honestly I don't know who is going to replace him, but I think Carney's going to destroy Canada and says, okay, now your turn. Have a great
Poilievre?
Yeah, I'm out.
Well, he's leaving Alberta too, so the next election he won't be in Alberta.
Correct.
So here's something that caused a lot of people to be frustrated because they don't like these kind of headlines and news. That's just facts, okay, folks? I'm not sharing my desire to see this. I'm just sharing what the news is. The population in Toronto is shrinking. This is the first time in a while that it actually went down. Normally it's going up. And it's not due to immigration. The immigration numbers are still really high.
Yeah.
It's people are escaping the Toronto area. And I suspect that these are people that just had enough of it. So they're leaving. But many are moving to Alberta. So the quote from the article is, Torontonians are increasingly eyeing Alberta. Calgary saw a net gain of 7,069 from Toronto, the third highest of any city, while Edmonton pulled in another 5,562. So that's quite a few people making their way from Toronto to, specifically Toronto, not just Ontario, to Alberta. And my comment here is, I wonder why. Could it be because Alberta is the only place in Canada that offers the hope for a better future via independence? I think so. And then I shared just a search result of food lines in Toronto, and article after article, picture after picture. They're starving. They're in the food lines there. Now people are saying, don't come here, don't bring your liberal views here and all that kind of stuff. They kind of highlight how California goes to Florida and Texas and kind of starts to take over. I can't say what their political alignment is, but it does look like, based on the numbers, that these are people who lived there for a while. These are not new Canadians or anything like that, or new people to Canada, because they're still there. This might be people that are fed up with liberal policies and the fact that they can't get rid of them. But in either case, Alberta is one of the top destinations for people fleeing the big cities. I'm not surprised to see that. Thank you. And we got a couple more minutes. We'll bring on the man of the half hour. The Critical Compass is doing great work, so please go check them out. Follow them. The Crit Comp is a fun handle. doing good work. They were there in Red Deer doing some recording. You can see the long lines for people in Red Deer, and it does go around the corner of that building. And they are clipping and sharing lots of pieces of the fundamental truth, the event itself. So check it out. I do like their work. I'm very pleased with them. And they also helped me put together a new cut of the entire event because they collected the audio from the audience, which is great. Because the audio we had that was on the stream didn't have the audience in there. So there's like gap for people.
Would be laughing or something and there's like silence.
Correct. It kind of comes off weird, but still over, I think it was like 15,000 people have now watched that live stream. And I'll release a new cut, which is like straight to the point, and it's got full audio and a couple more camera angles too. So thank you very much to the Critical Compass. You guys do great work. And I also believe that they're available. I haven't had to pay, but they're available to do work for other people. So if you're looking to get some video work done, check them out.
And I just popped the X link in the chat as well. So I'm sure from there, you'll be able to find out their other social media as well if you're interested.
They're awesome. So stay tuned to my feed as well. We'll be posting the full remastered version of this. It's fantastic speeches. I'm really pleased at how that worked out for everybody. Going on tour again, February 2nd, White Court. We may be adding another date there, so stay tuned for that. But definitely February 2nd in White Court, February 3rd in Grand Prairie, February 4th in Hinton, February 5th in Breton, and February 6th in Leduc. Posters are out there. I'm going to be traveling around with Dr. Roger Hodkinson and Kathy Flett as we have conversations about Alberta independence. This isn't an SFA or Stay Free Alberta event, but none of my events are. So I want to be clear about that as we make our way through the next little bit. But I'll know soon for our third-party advertisers. Once that's done, just one more hurdle that doesn't get anybody in trouble. So we'll be focusing on getting that done. But also stay tuned to stayfreealberta.com if you're looking for signing events and locations. That's where it's official. That's where you'll find them. And it's always been updated. So check it out, stayfreealberta.com. And also to donate. A lot of people reach out and ask, how do you donate to Stay Free Alberta? Do it online. And also at several of their events, if you're less than $50, they can take a donation direct cash. And if it's $50 or more, you got to register it. So don't be shy. It's totally cool. You're not going to be on any bad lists. Stay Free Alberta is doing great work, putting on good events, and they can always use some support in that way as well. Make sure you do that. And I got a new follower. So Paul Brandt has followed me, and he also just came out and said, yeah, I've got independence in my veins. So he's one of the big names here in Alberta that's kind of putting his foot forward for independence. So very pleased to see that. The media is going nuts about this. But good on him, because one of the hard things to do now is to come out and strongly support something like independence because of the backlash you get, especially with music. So tip my hat to Paul Brandt, and very pleased that at some point, hopefully, we'll have him on the show to talk about it.
Excellent.
As we wrap up here, the documentary, we added some more dates for Ontario, and that was Peterborough and Hamilton. But do stay tuned, because Hamilton may change from the Friday to the Thursday, and we may do the West Toronto one on Friday instead of Thursday. We might switch those dates around because of venue options. But stay tuned for that. It's my pin post. And with that, we can go to the man of the half an hour. I just saw him take a sip of something. We'll find out what it is.
Coffee.
How are you today?
Good morning, guys. How are you?
I'm good. What are you drinking? Tea or coffee or witch's brew like Paula?
Coffee this morning.
Excellent. And how do you take your coffee? Is it black like me, or you put stuff in it?
I put a little cream in it. I'm just a brand new coffee drinker, actually. I never started drinking coffee till about a year ago, and now I'm understanding what all the fuss is about.
Absolutely. Breaking news, folks. There you go. An exclusive for the Levine Show. Mitch drinks coffee with cream. So thanks very much for joining us. I really appreciate it. You are a busy man. What are the kilometers up on that truck now? I have to ask every time you come on.
We're running around 79,000 now. It's incredible, actually. I keep watching the number go up, but we've got a big job to do, and it looks like we're having some measure of success doing it. So that's encouraging as well. So it's easier to go from place to place.
Are you currently in Calgary, or are you heading to Calgary today? Because you got one big event tonight.
I'm in Calgary right now. I'm in a hotel room in Calgary.
Excellent. We'll be seeing you shortly. Now, one of the things I was kind of looking into, and I can't really find a definitive answer, is if it gets up to 7,500 people there, will this end up being the largest political event in Canadian history?
Oh, I don't know. You know what? I thought that we did that at a couple of our UCP AGMs the last couple of years, but yeah, maybe it would be. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, because that's
Mhm.
where I'm getting my information from, because the one in Red Deer with Danielle Smith was 6,000, and that was called the largest one in history. So at 7,500, we might be able to beat that tonight.
Yeah, well, we definitely like to take that title away from the UCP. That would be fun, even though you know, we're still UCP. I'm UCP. I'm a UCP chair still.
Excellent. Now, what can people expect tonight? Who's on the stage, 7 p.m. and on? Who do you got lined up to speak? I'm
Myself,
hoping you are there.
I'm going to be there. Jeff Rath will be there. Evan Chipiuk will be there as well. I have brought in a soldier friend that I met at the Prairie Rising conference in Regina to speak to the people on his perspective of where we're at. And his name is Jim Sinclair. And Jim, you know, is going to give a perspective that very few people have, being, you know, a war veteran and a soldier and in support of what we're doing. So I'm looking forward to the evening. I think it's going to be, you know, exciting. It's going to, hopefully there'll be lots of people there, and we'll get our message out and get more people to help us do our work.
Good
Right.
work. And we were just talking earlier about all the long lineups we've seen, even in some cold weather in Grand Prairie. Fort Saskatchewan came out, Edmonton came out, everywhere. I haven't seen one picture that from an event so far that had no lineup. It's been very, very busy. I know you can't share numbers, so I'm not even
Mhm.
going to go there. But are you very pleased with so far how it's been rolling out? And we're thinking week 3 now.
Well, you know, it's been really good. I was in Edson on Saturday afternoon at 1, and it was actually lined up around the building as well when we got there. So yeah, it's like that basically everywhere we go, and that's of course very exciting. But even more exciting now was what we've set up. You know, we're ready. Our canvassers are in small towns. They're in locations. You know, they're gathering signatures in that. We had a small we had a table at a location in Bonnyville on the weekend where they signed 400 people in one day, and again yesterday. So those kind of things, you know, you multiply that by every small town in Alberta, or every town in
Right.
Alberta, and every area in Alberta by thousands of canvassers, and I think that's going to be the path to success. The events are, you know, the events are all our events have always been to encourage our people, you know, to get people belonging to community, so that they understand they're not by themselves. So to understand that, you know, to encourage them to, you know, get them to move forward and do more. Basically, is what our events are principally about. But the big part of the signature collection is going to happen in these little kiosks in small towns and in areas in the cities all over Alberta, all happening all at once. And that's the point of us asking for thousands and thousands of canvassers, which we already have, but we want many thousands more.
So right now, what we've been telling people to do to become a canvasser, you go to stayfreealberta.com, you click that link, become a canvasser, and go through the process. It's been pretty streamlined because when I went and did mine, it was within 10 days. I had the badge in my hand from Elections Alberta. So you've been going through hundreds, if not thousands, of these applications to get them to. And by the way, you
Yeah,
can't apply straight to Elections Alberta. You have to go through the petitioner, you, in order to get those done. Is that correct?
right. And we now have 6 full-time people, you know, processing our requests and moving them forward. You know, we were kind of a little flat-footed. I'm not going to lie on the volume of, you know, support that
Mm.
we received right off the bat. We were really excited about it. We were hoping that was going to be the case, and you know that I'm sure is a direct result of the 100 town halls that we did. But as a consequence to that, you know, it took us a minute to get organized. But I'm really confident in saying that right now we're absolutely up and running. And you know, everything's up on the Stay Free Alberta website. All the live signing events are there. They will be posted there every day. And you know what, we'll be basically interactive with all of our people for the next basically 100 days.
And what are the requirements from your perspective for someone to become a canvasser?
You have
18
to
plus,
be
like what are the
Mhm.
requirements in your perspective?
you have to be an Alberta resident. You have to be over 18. You know, Canadian citizen. So all those things are, the principal requirements.
And maybe you don't have the last name Lusakic. Maybe that will help as well. Because he's been out there pushing hard some of the propaganda against you. According to him, you guys have a $500 billion loan that you're pulling from already. Can you kind of clarify that?
Well, we absolutely have all of our money. The whole thing with grassroots politics is we, by having large numbers of people that belong to your group and that donate to you, you don't have to depend on one big donor or many big donors, and therefore you're not beholden to them. The whole idea of this whole project is to get away from that and maybe encourage the people to participate more in our democracy by actually doing the work and actually participating monetarily. So therefore, that we can work autonomously on our own, without undue influence from people that actually are self-interested. And that's the whole idea. That's what we're seeing going on at the federal government level here right now. We have big business basically running our governments and running our country, much to the chagrin of every worker in Alberta for sure, and for sure in the rest of Canada, because our rights as workers and regular people are being trampled on continuously and continue to be, and our ability to earn is being very affected. But theirs, however, is going exactly the other way.
I was on stage with Dr. Modry on Thursday, and he kind of opened up his speech by saying he's made two great acquisitions in his life. First, his wife, and then Mitch Sylvester. He's very pleased to be working with you. What are your thoughts about Modry putting you right up there, right with his wife, on the best acquisitions of his life?
Well, that's awesome, and I'm thankful for all the work that Dr. Modry's done and everything that he's continuing to do to advance this cause. This has been a kind of a lifelong goal of his to get this done, and I believe that this is his life's work now and his mission to get it done. And he's a great big help. And Dennis has is absolutely a brilliant person, so he's a good guy to have on your team, absolutely without question. And I thank him for that. That's very kind.
Yeah, no, he's very pleased with things, how they're going. A lot of people have been waiting 40 plus years to get to this point, and I know he's been very active in that as well. Can you explain a little bit why we're not talking to Alberta Prosperity Project today, and we're talking to Stay Free Alberta?
Well, Alberta Prosperity Project has been pretty much, dormant right now because of their mission. What started and ended before the petition process started. So once the petition process started, we had to separate ourselves completely from that and get on the mission of collecting signatures, which is basically like an election campaign. And there's a set of rules involved there, and we want to make sure that we follow them as closely as we can, or to the letter, if we understand them. So I think that's the biggest issue, is understanding the elections Alberta rules, and following them is not an issue. We're very happy to comply.
Yeah, that was something that caught people by surprise early. Like, what is Stay Free Alberta? But that is the petition drive itself. That's where the canvassers are volunteering. That's where the team is volunteering. Your 6 full-time people going through canvasser applications, and then also donations. So if you've ever donated to APP, that's not carried forward over to Stay Free Alberta. So maybe make a second donation to Stay Free Alberta.
Yeah. So Stay Free Alberta has a budget. It's a government imposed or Elections Alberta budget. It's up around $570,000 somewhere there that we can spend on this campaign. We're not there yet. We're only about halfway there as far as donations is concerned, and we're spending money every day, to get ourselves to these places, to rent halls like we did today, that we will tonight, and that's where that money goes to get us prepared and ready to go, so that we can collect all of our, hopefully hundreds of thousands of signatures.
So Elections Alberta sets a cap, so just over 500,000. You said they're not the 500 billion that the media is talking about.
Oh no, there's no $500 billion involved here, and those kinds of conversations, people have to understand, are conversations. Like there's no commitments there. We're not in power. We can't sign any of that. There's absolutely no way that we have the collateral or anything like that to commit to money like that. I think it's best that people think about the big picture and understand that we're not possible. We couldn't possibly do that. I've been borrowing money from banks forever. And my experience with them is that you have to have more collateral than money that you need to borrow. So that pretty much puts that whole thing right out of contention there for us.
Now, are you really surprised at how the media is attacking this, making things up? Like we just shared earlier, the Globe and Mail saying experts warn that Elections Alberta will not be able to handle the foreign interference. Like headline like that, no proof, no evidence. They're not even pointing to anything specific. They're just saying experts warn. What are your thoughts about the media, the way they're attacking that way?
Well, the Financial Post did a good job in smearing me last week. I'm still considering suing them for defamation, and I've had this discussion with them. They gave us a chance to rebut that, but I mean, once it's out there, it's out there. But you know what? The funniest thing is a lot of people don't realize, and most of our people don't pay any attention to what they're saying anymore. And I think that's much to your credit and people that do what you do. I really think that media is not being looked at as the source of truth that it was in the past, and certainly should it be. I mean, basically they've been lying to us for 10 years, and now people are catching on to that. And we're going back to a lot of people are looking at media, mainstream especially, as basically being propaganda, and they continue to prove that they are. So I don't see why that should change in anybody's mind. Those people are going to attack us. They're being bought and paid for by Carney and his people. Actually, if you look at Carney, he was at an event and he made some kind of a snide remark about how he's busy killing ostriches, and that the mainstream media, even though he owns them, don't always go along with his narrative. And he basically said that out loud. So if they're admitting that they own the media, they're definitely not in favor of what we're doing. So their job number one is to smear us and to make us look like we're incompetent. However, that's the boots on the ground are not showing that. They're showing that we're doing quite well. Thank you very much, with or without their support.
Excellent.
Yeah, and that's wonderful, especially you said the surge of number of people who want to become canvassers. That we have had some feedback though for some that they're waiting for their canvassing sheets though. Can we get updates on the release of those for some of the people waiting?
Well, I think that the sign-up sheets. The sign-up sheets
yeah.
are going, because that's a problem that's handled right now. They just have to go to their regional leaders. We've got that all straightened out. There was a glitch in the production process of that. We were expecting them in early January and just recently got them. So now we're flat up and running. All those things should be done and out of the road, and we should be out there working, collecting as many signatures as we can. Those kind of little things that's not a little thing. It was a big concern, but now it's become a little thing because we have them all available and ready for everybody. And sign-up places, like I said, have started all over Alberta just this weekend, actually. So now we'll be flat out from this point forward.
Excellent.
Yeah, and to kind of clarify, is those sheets are individually numbered, so they can't be photocopied. It's not like you can just get one and make 20 out of them. They're individually numbered and tracked, so they have to come through your process and make sure that they're in the right hands and you know who has what sheets, because when you're going to collect them all again, you got to make sure you collect them all back, whether they're full or not, right? Is that part of the process at this stage?
Oh yeah, that's 100% part of the process. All that system is working. Our regional leaders are collecting their signature sheets, and they're moving forward to the counting place, and they're being stored and put away.
Fantastic. I'm really looking forward to May 2nd. I got to tell you, I feel like a kid in a candy store because I'm looking forward to what that final number will be. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you can't release the tallies. It's kind of one of the things that you're not supposed to do through Elections Alberta, but you will on the 2nd when it's all done. What are you hoping the number will be? Because I'm sure it's going to be slightly north of 177.
I'm hoping it's going to be north of 1 million, to tell you the truth. But we need 177,000, but optimistically, I think we can get north of 1 million. There's people all over the place. We're having daily conversations with people that are just done with what's going on in Alberta here, and they're done with the corruption at the federal government level, and they're not understanding why we should have to stay here and continue to put up with this. And it's everyone. It's like, that's why when we go to these events, people are lined up around the block to sign. Like, would you have thought that? I would have never thought that we would have those kind of lineups. And the people that we're getting is everybody. We're getting immigrants. We're getting we're getting old people. We're getting young people, and we really believe that the biggest group of people that are going to support this is the people under 40, and we're seeing it. Like we have reports from camps, say places like Foster Creek, where there's 400 or 500 men working there all day, every day. That it'd be very hard to find a detractor there. Everybody's in total support of this. So you know what? I think there's a good possibility that people are educating themselves and that this could happen.
Yeah, I've been calling it Mitch's million because when I've been speaking to people and they talk about, we need the 177,000. Do you think we'll achieve it? I says, I hope so. But I want it to be a clear message, not just to Ottawa, but the rest of the country that listen to the mainstream media. No, Alberta's very, very serious about this. It's not just an unacceptable few, a fringe minority, or, just the rurals. I want to be a clear message that no, the residents of Alberta are done.
Mitch's
And,
millions. There's
yeah.
a T-shirt for you.
Yeah, I pass it over to you, my little catchphrase, but I think so because
and
it
it's
does
not
need to
just
be
Alberta.
convincing.
And it's not just Alberta. I mean, we have a conversation with Parti Québécois, and Parti Québécois is actually going to do a television show calling Mr. Carney out on his recent lies that he did at their convention this weekend. So they're going to be on live TV today, tomorrow, whenever, disputing some of the stuff that Mr. Carney's is peddling. So we're seeing it, across the country. Saskatchewan's ready to do this as well, and they're doing their very best. But Alberta will lead. We've said from the beginning that if Alberta falls, the rest of the country will. And just to be clear, we really believe that what we're doing is going to give the rest of Canada hope to succeed for a much brighter future once they see what's happening here in Alberta and understand what the reasoning is. What we're trying to do is absolutely get away from globalism. And globalism does not mean Canada. So globalism is the absolute devil as far as we're concerned. They're doing exactly the opposite of what our government should be doing. As far as I'm concerned, governments that talk about the dissolution of our borders, that's a whole nother level of whatever you want to call it. In my world, that's treason. So it's them, not us. And if they had treated us with any modicum of respect, the people of Alberta are seeing that they're not. And right now they don't even care. They're right up telling everybody right in public what they're doing. Mr. Carney's New World Order could not be clearer. Now, how can you make it any clearer than that? Pardon me?
Yeah, Paula was referring to the
Yeah.
CBC, how they clipped it and changed it to say New Era instead of New World Order. They got busted doing that for sure, because it was very clear what he said, and even Scott Moe's face said it all.
Yeah.
But another thing that I'm seeing here, that in addition to these long lineups, is people are waiting on the cold. If you remember the convoy in 2022, that was January, February, right in the middle of winter, still showing up on overpasses, still showing up in Ottawa, still showing up to support. It feels a bit the same here. People are outside minus 20, and they're not upset. They're very excited to go ahead and put their signature down.
And I mean, we knew that when they were delaying us in court for months and months, that they were going to, if we were going to get the opportunity to do this, and we're thankful. Let's be clear about that. We don't care what time of year it is, but they thought the dead of winter would be the most perfect time to turn us loose on this, because it would be very hard to get people to come out and support it. And I mean, I'm sure they thought that, but it's turning out to be just the opposite. People are very happy to come out and sign it in the cold. Like people in Edmonton were standing outside in the cold for 3 hours and happy to sign, and no grumpy people by the time they got to the opportunity to sign, actually very happy to have signed, and with a real feel-good feeling, based on the fact that they believe they accomplished something to make Alberta and Canada a better place. And I think that's a common sentiment.
100%. It's great to see. Like, nobody's upset. When I walked the line at a couple of the events, I'm like, are you excited to be here? Do you mind that there's a long line? And the most common response is, I've been waiting my whole life for this. I don't mind waiting another hour or so. This is great. And there's, the young and old in that crowd, all types of people.
Yeah.
It's not just one type of person that's frustrated and looking forward to this. This is everybody. And in the cities too, like Edmonton showed up in droves, and we're going to see Calgary tonight.
Yeah, well, and the whole thing is that, looking to the future, everybody understands that if we continue down this path, there's only one result, and none of it's going to be good for us. I mean, and people have to understand that. This is go beyond party lines here. This is nonpartisan. Any Albertan that thinks that they want to live in a free and democratic society, whether they vote NDP or UCP, think that they live in a democracy and think that they live in a place where they can raise their children, and have freedom of speech and, all the rest of the stuff that I grew up with and we grew up with, and have the opportunity for their children to grow and be better off than their parents, just like what, I grew up in and generations before me. Like, it was very clearly evident to me that we had the opportunity as young people to build our businesses and build our lives and be better off than our parents, who worked very hard to get us to this point. I mean, my grandparents were the people that built the shack on a quarter section of land and broke this land by hand so that they could come here and start a new life. And I think that is exactly what we need to preserve.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And now our premier, she's been very strategic and staying down the middle and not taking a position. However, she had to release a statement just a couple of days ago saying the separatists are not looking to join the U.S. because the pressure is really hard in the media, saying that they're opening the door to the U.S. to be the 51st state, to be annexed by Trump, yada, yada, yada. You want to touch on the premier's comments there? You know her quite well.
Well, I think that she's 100% correct in saying that. Why would we want to jump from the frying pan to the fire? I mean, there's absolutely no real reason for us to do that. We're perfectly capable of running our own country here. We have everything here that we need to run our own country. We're going to be one of the top 5, maybe if not the richest country in the world, very soon after we declare our independence. So people have to understand that with what we have here, and the most important thing we have here, people have to understand, is the people. Our people are productive people. Our people have a work ethic. That's why we overpay in every single program with the federal government, because we work more than other people. We're very productive. We've built this province to be the most profitable province in Canada, and we can build it to be one of the most profitable countries, if not the most profitable country in the world. There's absolutely no doubt about it. The only level of government that we need to get rid of is the gatekeepers and the people that put the red tape and everything in the road so that they can enrich themselves on our efforts. Those are the people that we have to get rid of. And you know what? We have that in common with anybody that wants independence. The one level of government that we can do without is the federal level.
Okay. So also about a month ago, I had Justice Minister Amory on to talk about Bill 14. So this was just after it got ascended and became law. And as we were going through there, the big thing that really opened the door to this petition was the removal of Section 2.4 under the Citizens Initiative Act, which said you can't have a petition or question that contravenes the Constitution. So that was repealed, but it was also then added to the Referendum Act that after a successful referendum, so this is after a yes vote, the government itself can decide not to be bound to a binding referendum. It's weird how they worded it. It's binding, but not binding, if it contravenes the Constitution. He said on the show very clearly, he does not consider the independence petition something that contravenes the Constitution because the Supreme Court and the Clarity Act lays a procedure forward. So yay, he doesn't see it as something that would contravene it. But a couple weeks after that, I had the premier on, and I asked her 2 different ways to give me her opinion on that, whether or not she would stop it. She said she'll come back on the show after the numbers come out for the petition signing. The number's there, so May 3rd. I've already booked her for that. But what are your thoughts about the government now under the Referendum Act? They could technically, if they wanted to, stop any binding referendum that was successful if they determine, not the courts, if they determine that it contravenes the Constitution.
Well, the government's going to have to remember who they represent, and at some point, that's the whole mission here. We have to turn the system back upside down so that the government represent the people. And if that's the situation that we have, and that we do have, and we will have, if we get enough signatures, there's going to be no putting this genie back in the bottle. The government will not be able to do that. And you better reschedule the premier, Jason. Our final date is May 6th, so you better reschedule her to the 8th or 9th of May.
I'll do exactly that right after this too, because her
Uh-huh.
promise on the show was to come back after the signatures
Yeah.
have been collected and put in. So the date will be early May then. And that's great. Now, a lot of people will agree with you. If you get to the Mitch's million and there's 60+% on that referendum, there's absolutely no way
Yeah.
any government can stand in the way at that point. So those are some pretty lofty targets, but I think you can hit them.
Well, the thing is that, I always thought if you aim if you aim small, you miss small. So that's the way we're looking at it. Not being small in terms of the goal, but I'm referring to when you're shooting, aim at something very tiny, so that you don't miss the whole target. So that's exactly what we're doing. We're thinking as big as we can. I always have. That's never been a problem of mine, is to think as big as I can think, and work really hard to try and accomplish it. I had a high school teacher tell us that once, that if you aim for 100% and get 90, you're still doing really well. If you aim for 50 or 55 and get 45, you're not doing as well as you could. So you know what, I've lived by that a bit, and so we're thinking 1 million or more if we can. And you know what? To try and we're going to run this campaign like we're 100,000 votes behind every single day till the last day.
That's a good way to
Yeah.
do it. And with Lusaka getting 450,000, and you didn't see lineups like what we are seeing here, and you had 90 days, you got 120 days. Now, the biggest difference, though, is Lusaka didn't have the signature requirement or the ID
Yeah.
requirements. So if you have a PO box, you need to bring another piece of ID. That's been the only thing that some people had to come back for, but it's been going pretty smooth. So do you think
Well-
the Bill 54, those kind of changes, were they specifically to target rural, or they were just a way to secure the whole process?
Well, Lukaszuk also had 50,000 signatures disqualified, right? So if that's the case, us doing our due diligence up front is going to help us to make sure that attrition rate is lower than that. And that will be nothing but good for us. So I'm really happy that that was actually put in. I don't think that's hurt us. I'm a canvasser, and I was in line at an event, and I was signing people up, and that was the one thing that we saw that was the stumbling block, is the where they lived. And there's a couple things there that are kind of strange. If you've got kids living in your house, you need some kind of a letter showing that they're actually living there. If their address is the same as yours. So we're seeing and spouses, lots of spouses, male or female, have the same address as what's at their house as their husband. So that there's a little bit of running around making sure that they have their own unique address, because they're not named on a utility bill or anything like that. We're finding that insurance works. Pink cards and that kind of stuff if you have a vehicle. But other than that, I think that that's a minor thing. People are finding a way around it. And once people understand, the word gets out, they'll come prepared. And I believe that that's not even going to be a glitch moving forward. I think, I think it's actually going to work in our favor. And when we actually saw that originally, we actually thought that would be better than to have to notarize it, because that was the part that they moved out of there. Lukaszuk actually got that changed in the middle of his collection phase, where he took it to court and got that the notarizing part changed, where you have to notarize every signature or every sheet anyway.
Yeah. I've seen some people I've spoken to, primarily women, they've realized how many things are not in their name from a utility bill. And again, they have a driver's license, but they'll have a PO box on it. So a lot of them have been scrambling, like, what on earth can I use?
Marriage certificate works, yeah.
But for the address. And so a lot of them, I have helped them, says, go check your insurance documents, the home insurance or your car insurance. And then is your cell phone in your name? And so they've had to try now think, because off the bat, the typical ones they go to, it's not in their name. So at least it's prompted some people to actually have a look at their documents and bills.
And when there's children in the house, like you mentioned there, a renter's agreement works, and also works the other way. Sometimes parents live with their children.
Yeah.
A renter's agreement works, and also your Amazon profile works, your banking profile on your phone works. All those things work.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been very seamless. I haven't, I haven't heard from canvassers, and I've been to multiple events with lineups now where we're turning away a large percentage of people. People are getting the message. They understand before they come in that what they need to have, and we'll see. We'll have a real good test tonight, because tonight there's going to be I think we're opening up sometime 11 o'clock this morning to start collecting signatures. So we expect it to be busy there all day.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I was out for coffee, and I brought my paperwork with me. And even my buddies are like, you know me. I could just say, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I need to see the document. I got to sign. I got to do it right. And you would respect me less if I didn't do it right. So yeah, they went out to their truck, dug up a bill, had the land description on it. We're good to go. But yeah, you can't just give your word. I'm so sorry. We want to have the integrity of this top notch. And it doesn't matter how long I've known you. I got to see the paperwork.
Yeah. And it's good to know that Thomas's paperwork, they canceled out 50,000 signatures. I wasn't aware of that.
13% of his total.
Yeah, that's good to know.
So also, people are going to be ready to vote. We don't want people vouching for people at the polls. So, that's just a method of cheating, as far as I'm personally concerned. If you can vouch for somebody that has no ID, let's say, say you live in Alberta and you get 10,000 people to do that, or 20,000 people to do that, that becomes a big deal. So I like the fact that you have to vote. You cannot vouch for people, and moving forward, the fact that we took out some of the voting, changed the voting laws, no more voting machines in Alberta. That's going to help us. We're going to need scrutineers moving forward if we get to this. That's another thing that people should start considering. And you know what? All these people that were going to be canvassers, if the petition is successful, we'll be able to. We'll be veterans now, and they can help out. So if they so choose, moving forward to get this right to the end.
Correct, and 100% too, and definitely going to make sure I also register as a third-party advertiser for the referendum. That's 2 different applications. There's the petition one, and then you have to do another one for the referendum. So I'll make sure I get that done as well. But as we're wrapping up here on the public side, one more thing I just kind of want to put out there was, if you want to become a canvasser or you want to donate, the official main website is stayfreealberta.com. If anybody else says I can take a donation or I can help you here or even do an online petition signing, got to be careful of that. I want to make sure the public is aware of that.
Yep, and you know what? The more the better. We can't have too much help. Many hands make light work. If you're committed to this, this is going to be your one opportunity to do this. So you better, and if you're not sure, look into it, attend an event. We're sure that by the time you've left the event, you will be very convinced that our situation needs to change drastically. And we believe this is the only path. So thanks, Jason, for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, hang out for a little bit. There's a couple more questions with our supporters. I'd like to go just run by you and get you back to your busy day. Yeah, so just hang out for a sec. We're going to say goodbye to the public. But I wanted to make sure that everybody understands stayfreealberta.com. We'll post locations. Sometimes the locations are permanent or reoccurring. You'll find those there as well. It's being updated all the time. So if you want to know where you can go to stayfreealberta.com. You can follow Stay Free Alberta on X as well. And the Rise of Alberta has been posting a lot as well. So you can follow that account if you want to know where you can get your signature on that petition. If you're in the Calgary area, come today, starting at 11 a.m. You'll have an opportunity there as well, and stick around for the speeches at 7 p.m. Sounds like a great lineup. So hang on, Mitch. We'll be right back with you, okay?
Yep.
Well, that's exciting. I'm really glad that we can get information corrected and make sure that people understand there's no 51st day on the table. Premier Smith herself is doing it. If you hold a badge in your canvasser and you're waiting for your papers, they're coming. There was some mass production being done for the printing. They're all individually numbered. They got to be tracked. So thanks for your patience around that. And looks like the well-oiled machine. They're ready to go now.
Yeah, very excited. Speaking of well-oiled machines, come and support
the
Levine Show.
Yeah, subscribe, like, hit that little bell as well. Every single one of them helps. Share this out there, and you can also become a member in our locals community. Some great chats are happening there. And if you can, first support Stay Free Alberta, and then you can support us as well, completely separate. And become a member of our little club there, where you have that private chat, and we're about to come see you right now if you're in there.
Yeah, but everyone, thanks for joining us again. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. Thanks for being here, and see you tomorrow morning.
Or in Calgary if you're down there. I'll see you down there today. Have yourself a great day, everybody. Take care of each other. Love you all. God bless.